And one place where Trump will not be is in Milwaukee tonight. That's where our next guests are joining us live as they await the first Republican presidential debate. Starts in just a few hours. NewsNation political editor Chris Stirewalt and former White House press secretary Sean Spicer. Thank you both for being with us now that we're just, again, a couple hours from the debate. Sean, I want to start with you. In a sense, has Trump already sort of won the night? Because we know come tomorrow morning, the headlines are going to be about the former president expected to turn himself in tomorrow.
Well, he will dominate the night. I think, as I've said earlier on NewsNation, he is not physically present, but his presence is felt everywhere, from the candidates that will take the stage to the moderators to the people that I've talked to in Milwaukee the last couple of days. I think, to answer your question, Brian, I mean, look, we keep seeing these indictments benefit him politically. The question is, does that keep happening, or does the pattern disrupt itself? So I think there's a little bit of a question mark as to how this plays out. But so far, it has benefited him. And I guarantee you, to your point, tomorrow morning, this is all we're going to be talking about. So no matter what happens tonight, this is, no matter who has a good night tonight, most of the conversation tomorrow will be back about him.
I keep wondering, Sean, is the mugshot going to make a difference? Because you mentioned, I mean, there's been other indictments, sort of comes and goes. His supporters are still very, very passionate about him. Do you think seeing the mugshot, like what we see what happened with Rudy Giuliani today, it's on the screen now, is that going to make a difference, do you think, in how this is all perceived?
The only difference that mugshot is going to make is a lot of money for the Trump campaign. My guarantee, if they haven't already, they're ready to go with T-shirts and hat. Yeah. With some kind of play on the mugshot. So what difference it'll make is a financial difference. The president will raise money off of it. My guarantee is he smiles or has some kind of Trump look on himself. They probably are practicing the mugshot look right now. But I'm just telling you, it's not going to hurt him. It's going to help him.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Chris, back to the debate. What about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis? Obviously, the headlines haven't been good for him lately. The poll numbers have been going down. Is it like a make or break situation for DeSantis at this point? How much pressure is on him headed tonight?
For me, look, I think to Sean's point, aside from DeSantis, there are Trump folks around here. There's a parallel campaign to Donald Trump's that's here in Milwaukee that's, glad-handing and bracketing and doing all of that stuff. But Trump's legal defense and his presidential campaign are the same thing. And his decision about when he was going to turn himself in is about making his victim status and the crimes that he's charged with the central part of his candidacy. And I think Sean's certainly right that the Trump campaign will exploit the moment to good effect and that they will do that. But you also know that what tonight marks, what we're seeing here tonight, is the beginning of a 121-day push that takes us to Iowa on January 15th. Republican voters, there's about 250, 300,000 Republican voters around the country who are going to decide this in these early states. That process starts now, and Trump may have this thing already in the bag, and it may all be done by Thanksgiving. But if anybody else has a shot, it begins here tonight with the juxtaposition between Trump being booked and somebody having a good turn on stage.
But back to DeSantis, I mean, Chris, could this be a turning point for DeSantis? Could he finally start to turn things around because the poll numbers have been going down? Or is Trump just such a distraction and all this stuff going on with Trump that nothing's really going to change for DeSantis or for any of the others tonight?
The number of people, there'll be about 30 million, 33 million Republicans who vote in primaries between now and next fall, the end of next summer. But for the core group that matters, right, you're talking about Iowa and New Hampshire, and then South Carolina and Super Tuesday. That's where it all happens. So you're talking about a relatively small number of voters, and they are going to get more engaged. Ron DeSantis doesn't need a standout performance. He doesn't need to do a great job. He needs to be steady. He needs to be presidential. He's going to get attacked, and he's going to have to weather that storm and be calm, not get snappy, not get mean, look presidential, and look like he can fill that space, because there's a lot of pressure right there in the center of the stage.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven unbiased coverage.